have coming out of the East?
No, I don't. I want to kind of expound on what he said about the Celtics, Molly, because I think the Robert Williams injury is huge, especially when you start talking about playoff basketball, where getting to the free throw line is at a premium. And you think about how this season has been going along. When James Harden went over with Joel Embiid, we talked about that'll unlock Joel. Well, if you got that matchup, who's going to defend him? Who do you feel comfortable with? And then, too, watching the Celtics this year, and JJ speaks to this more, Al Horford can move away a little bit. You got a high screen and roll with two guys now. And we forget the athleticism of Robert Williams. I thought when he was coming out of Texas A&M, he would be an impact player defensively in the NBA. And when you talk about with Jalen, and obviously what Tatum is doing offensively, the fact that you lose a rim protector when you going into the playoff, this will not be the Warriors where they are shooting 53s a game. You're going to have somebody, not only defensive, offensive rebounding, but somebody that gives people pause when they want to get to the basket and athletic enough to defend these bigs. So I look at the Celtics right now as the team out of the East. I know what Brooklyn can be with KD and obviously Kyrie being able to come back and play, but I do not limit, when you get the playoff basketball, the contribution of a Marcus Smart, who just went off for 28, missing his stars against Toronto, the contribution that Robert Williams would have had defensively. You have to be able to play different ways as series materialize. And I think losing him is going to cause a huge issue when you talk about defensively against some of this high-powered offense that the East has.
Yeah, the two question marks for me when we get to the playoffs are going to be, who's that fifth guy in the closing lineup for them? Is it Pritchard? Is it White? Is it Grant Williams, who's had a great season?
Grant Williams, yeah.
Like, those three guys are great players, but again, they're not answering the Robert Williams question. Of course, it could be Daniel Theis as well. And then my second question is, when you go against Giannis, when you go against Joel Embiid in the playoffs, you need Robert Williams. And whether it's as a direct matchup or coming over help side, you need his shot blocking, you need his rim protection against those two teams specifically.
Let me ask you guys this right now. So who do you like when we're talking? We got the Bucks playing tonight. They're playing Philly. We just talked about the C's, obviously the Heat, and then the Nets.
I feel like we're headed for a finals rematch. Marcus, am I wrong in that? I feel like we're headed for a finals rematch. The Suns have been the best team in the league all year. The Bucks, to me, are the best team in the East right now. I've said all season, Miami Heat have been great.
Yeah.
They have fallen off. There's something going on with that team over the last 2 weeks. When the Bucks' big three play, they're 32-9. When you mentioned the Nets, by the way, I'm going to say this. I don't see the Nets, without Ben Simmons healthy, I don't see the Nets winning a playoff series.
With a full-time...
I'm scared too, JJ.
Hold on.
I'm scared too.
Hold on, we're not glossing over this. Hold on. With a full-time Kyrie and Kevin Durant... You know this squad very well. You know this area very well. I won't put you on blast. You don't have them winning a playoff series?
I took my 7-year-old son Knox to the Hornets game the other night. Great game. I have some real question marks about their defense. Some real question marks. And a lot of these teams at the top of the defensive efficiency rankings are in the Eastern Conference. Brooklyn, I think, is 22nd in the league this year in defensive efficiency. Yes, Kevin Durant is an all-world player. Kyrie Irving is an all-world player. Those guys can get buckets. Yeah. But there are real question marks about their defense.
Okay, Marcus, before you jump back in, you went too far ahead, though. I wanted Eastern Conference Finals. So you gave me the Bucks, and then you gave me the Phoenix, and then you kind of evaded the actual question. Who's playing the Bucks in the Eastern Conference? No, you didn't thought I said, because you had about 10 teams. So let's narrow it down right now with the information you currently have. I know you don't want to answer it. Who's playing the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals now that the Nets aren't even winning a playoff series with Kevin Durant?
It's a great question, Molly. My issue with giving a good answer right now.
Just answer it.
The Celtics.
Thank you.
Bucks Celtics.
Thank you.
But again, there's so much uncertainty around the seeding in the Eastern Conference where there's a little more certainty right now in the Western Conference seeding. So we can kind of predict right now first round matchup, second round matchup, etc. But yeah, I think the Bucks and Celtics are the two best teams in the East.
I won't hold you to it. Marcus knows everything on the show's fluid. Stephen A. started that, so that protects all of us. Marcus, I'll give you the final word here. Who do you have coming out of the East? And what do you think about him saying the Nets aren't even winning a series? Okay.
That doesn't send me over the hill with what JJ just said. Look, defense in the playoff, we know. Like, think about what Giannis did last year. Defensively, it takes defensive plays to win series and win championships. It takes those. It takes those moments for you to have that guy to come up big. And I look at Giannis and Middleton, and especially if Chris Middleton is knocking down shots mid-range, he's becoming that offensive weapon when you're garnering all the attention as Giannis. The Bucks are just so difficult of a team to defend when their big two is going crazy. And not to mention, y'all, what we watched from Giannis last year in the playoffs, he's going to do that again. What indication has he given any of us that he won't be that same type of player in this playoff run and trying to get to the finals? This team is more experienced. Other role guys understand their roles a lot better. And defensively, they get after you as well as anybody in the NBA. And they have an MVP candidate that is going to up his level of play in the playoffs. I got the Bucks coming out the East.
I saw a great graphic the other day talking about Giannis's mid-range. And every time I come on here with Stephen A. And I bring up the Bucks, he has all these question marks about Giannis, as if the guy didn't close out the NBA Finals with a 50 ball. With a 50 ball. But anyway, I digress. The graphic.
Yeah, talk about the graph. I'm really interested in the graphic.
No, this graphic showed his mid-range field goal percentage year by year in his career. I don't remember when it started out, low 30s. It has literally gone up every year in his career. He's up to 42%, which is well above average for mid-range basketball in the NBA. He's becoming unguardable.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.